Okay, I'm going to recap this stream today. I'm going to try my best to recap it. This was a huge stream. I have been hyping this stream up all week, and judging by the live chat, you are all hyped for this update. The PTS was announced for this Friday. We're going to get a hold of the PTS, and there's so much to discuss and recap now. Very briefly, they discussed modifiers for the new season. They discussed retaliation changes. They discuss raid exotics, exclusive exotics being available next season. We're going to go over that. That's huge. They discussed a new prototype gear. They discussed a new mode called escalation. What else did they discuss? They did so much in the stream, so I'm going to try and like just digest it all a little bit now in a recap for those that missed the stream and just want my opinion on them. So first of all, very briefly, the modifier for next season. I'm just taking footage from the stream here. I'm just going to kind of remind myself of what they went over. Maybe I'm going to backdrop other than this. But it's the new global modifier, recombinant. Very briefly, this is about basically having stacks in either offense, defense, or utility. You're going to start with 10 of each base, and all going to give you a sort of bonus. I believe offense is weapon handling as default, max armor for defense, skill damage for utility. So depending on the stacks you have, you're going to get an increase in the stat. Then for all the passive modifiers, there's going to be a load of them. They are going to adjust the amount of stacks that you have. So you'll be using the passive modifiers to adjust the stacks to see where you want the bigger boost. That's basically what it is. The hostile modifiers are going to be affecting your stacks, so you've got to be careful of hostile modifiers with their icons, because no matter what stacks you've got, they may be able to reduce them or stop them or things like that. The passive modifiers for this next season don't just have to be got from the journey. There's going to be a currency where you can go to the base of operations and you can purchase these passive modifiers. The currency is gained through the journey though, so I imagine with that, it just enables you to pick whatever passive modifiers you want first. This is a big question from people that like to save the journey until the end of the season for the stretch goals. They're not able to get all of the passive modifiers because they're saving the journey. You might have to do a little bit of it if you want to get some of the passives, but maybe there's another way of earning the currency. They didn't go over that though. That's going to be the new global modifier, and like I said, very briefly on that, what I'm going to do when the PTS is live at the end of the week, I am going to do a more sort of like recap video going over everything and reading over everything, and we'll obviously do a new guide for the new seasonal modifiers when the season goes live. That's all I want to discuss about that for now though. They did go more in depth, so yeah, you can go on the Twitch or you can watch my stream back from earlier if you want to watch what they said about that. That's a picture there of the station now at the base of operations next to where the specializations is, where you can buy or sell, but you can buy the new passive modifiers. It says sell, so I wonder if you can like sell them back maybe. I don't know. So that's how that looks. And then they went on after this to discuss retaliation. So here we go. So the retaliation changes coming next season, and this is going to be in the PTS as well. Black Tusk is coming to retaliation, which means how you charge up factions now, Hyenas, True Sons, and Outcasts. Black Tusk is going to be a little bit of a wild card and will charge up along with all the other factions, but also while you're taking on Black Tusk as well. And when you get a Black Tusk retaliation, you'll take Black Tusk on like you would any of the other factions. However, during next season only, so this is important, only next season, when you're doing a Black Tusk retaliation, they're going to have kill squads like normal, but there's going to be an additional elite Black Tusk kill squad. Again, next season only. They're going to be rarer, and if you get them, they're going to have a low chance of dropping blueprints for exclusive exotics. So I highly advise people that want things like the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, the Ouroboros, any of those exclusives, maybe even the regulars, who knows, they didn't state all of them, to farm Black Tusk retaliation next season, because when you get those elite kill squads, you got a chance to get those blueprints, and once you have those blueprints, you'll be able to craft those whenever you want for the Black Tusk resource on this crafting station. After next season, those elite kill squads will not be a thing. You won't be able to get them. It's for one season only, so a whole season. And it'll just go back to normal Black Tusk kill squads. So that was huge because, again, they're bringing exclusive exotics out of the exclusive content. You know my views on that. I don't like it personally. I think they should be protected. Raids need to be relevant. However, Yannick did touch on this, which I was very happy to hear. He's aware that people like raids, we're raiders, we like this content, it gives it purpose having stuff locked behind it, and he said they are going to give us ways of exclusive raid and incursion content in the future. So I'm interested to see how they do that. I've fed back multiple times about this to them. I've said what I as long as they give us reason to raid, reason to play incursions, reason to help people with our community, I'm happy. So things I've thought of, but like they could do vanity items per season. They could do seasonal exotics, maybe release a seasonal exotic. This isn't official, this is my thoughts. But they could release like a seasonal exotic every new season. Dark Hours and Iron Hush, you can get this exotic from these raids. At the end of the season, it'll go free to everybody. And the next season, there'll be another one. So kind of give you early access to some content, if that makes sense. That'd be a good way of doing it. They could go vanity, or they could just go brand new exclusive. So bring out the current and put in some new. There's loads they can do with it. They're definitely communicating it, which is good. They're not just bringing out all these exclusive exotics, giving them away and making the content pointless. So that's good. That's my concern with it. So they spoke about that. The only other thing about retaliation that they spoke about was this new system on the left-hand side of the screen here. You're now going to be able to like charge up multiple retaliations. You can see Black Tusk has currently got 2, and you can stack up to 3. So you can now stack up to 3 retaliations, and when you take them on, you can take them on one after another rather than having to do one, charge one, do one, charge one. You could save 3 and do all 3 at the same time. So that's a very good quality of life improvement. There's a bigger quality of life improvement in the game coming in a moment, by the way. But that's one, and that's good. And secondly, the timer. This is now going on your in-game time. So once you have got the retaliations unlocked and there's a timer counting down, you don't need to worry about logging off. When you log off, that's paused. When you log back on, it'll be where you left it. So that's another huge thing as well. So they've really done some good work on retaliation for the new season. All of that is permanent, not just for next season, except for those elite Black Tusk kill squads with those exclusive exotics. That is only next season. So beyond that, they spoke about matchmaking as well. You can now matchmake for retaliation. My cam's in the way. Let me just remove that a second. So when you go into the matchmaking screen, there'll be a square there for retaliation, and you can matchmake for it. So that's real cool. And we're starting to get to the good stuff now. Here we go. So, escalation. This is a brand new mode. This is going to be playable on the PTS from this Friday, and this is going to be a permanent feature from the new season. So not just new season. It'll be permanent, but it starts next season. Now, every single week, I believe, you're going to get a set of missions. So right now on the PTS, it looks like we're getting Space Administration HQ, District Union Arena, Manning National Zoo, Liberty Island, and Army Terminal. On these missions, you're going to be able to go to the mission and you're going to be able to escalate it. When you escalate it, there are going to be 10 tiers to that mission, and you've got a new currency called escalation tier tokens. You're gonna have to earn these. When you've got those tokens, you can spend those tokens to increase the tier, and then once you complete that tier, you'll unlock more tiers and then spend more tokens to complete more tiers, if that makes sense. And your aim each week, I guess, is to go through each one of these missions and escalate them all the way to tier 10 and complete tier 10. This is going to advance in difficulty every single time. There's going to be like hostile modifiers that get added. Things like the enemy damage is going to be more, the health is going to be more, the armor is going to be more every single time you go up, and there'll be more modifiers. There is a modifier screen we'll show in a minute, but it's going to be like a weekly goal really, where you play these missions, you escalate them, you make them more difficult for yourself, and you challenge yourself to see if you can complete tier 10 on every mission. In a nutshell, and you got to do it via tokens. Once you spent tokens, so once you've wagered your tokens, if you win it, if you complete it within the time limit, you get your profit back, you get some tokens back and then some. If you lose and you don't complete it and you fail, you lose your tokens. So if you run out of tokens, you might have to go back down a few tiers again to start saving some back up to take on the more difficult tiers again. So that's going to be the aim of that. Now, The big thing about that, well, what's the reward? Well, first, there's the modifiers. So you can see there's a modifier screen. So as we're going up through tiers, we're also going to be having, well, they're not called modifiers, they're called enemy mutators that are going to be added. Have a quick read of a few there, like Harvester. When dealing damage, the enemy regenerates armor and health by a percentage of your maximum armor. They can overheal. Another one, Aid Specialist. The enemy periodically repairs the armor of all allies around him if they are badly damaged. I'm not sure if you get all of these in one go. They probably add them in as you keep on going up to the tiers. I imagine tier 10 is like the max of everything, including all of the modifiers. So it'll be a tough challenge, I imagine. But this ain't the biggest part. The biggest part of this is, again, just to remind, this will be on the PTS on Friday. This is a permanent feature. There'll be weekly rotation of missions to keep it fresh all the time. And they're not stopping there. In the future, Yannick said they're looking at adding escalation to other activities that we do. So right away, my mind's going raids, potentially. Who knows? Who knows? But it's a good start. The next thing, here we go. This is huge. This is your reward. I'm going to have to remove my face cam while I go through this. Your reward for playing Escalation is going to be a new gear type. It's going to be called Prototype Gear. And Prototype Gear is gear that drops and it gives you higher values than you can currently get on anything for named items, gear sets, or brand sets. Exotics are not included. So you might already be thinking when I say that exotics are now redundant, that might be the case, but I assume exotics are a bit more complicated and hopefully in the future we will get prototype exotics. But right now, just gear sets, brand sets, and named items. And we'll try and take a look at how one of these pieces look. There we go. On the right hand side of the screen there, we're showing a prototype striker mask right now. You can see the weapon damage on it is 22.5%, and normal max core is 15, so it's an additional 7.5% weapon damage there. We can see crit chance is 9%. That's normally maxed out at 6%. Crit damage, not sure what that be, but it's giving you higher stats on the prototype gear if you can get it maxed out. The one under that is a mod, of course. And you can still expertise, it's level 30 to get the bonus armor there as well. And you'll notice as well an augment. So all prototype gear is going to be coming with augments. There's going to be a range of them, and you can re-roll the augments. So on prototype gear, I don't think you're going to be able to re-roll anything, but the augment can be. This current augment is Paradox, 1.5% chance to refill your magazine by 2 for each bullet spent. And it's got a level on there. As you use this prototype gear, you're going to level it up, and you can increase that refill chance. Yannick said that goes up to 10% max, and you can stack them. So if you have multiple prototype gear that all have Paradox on it, that's all going to stack on top of each other. So imagine this goes to 10%, right? And you had 6 pieces of Paradox, you're going to have 60% chance to refill your magazine by 2 for each bullet spent. There's going to be a lot of build diversity with that. I'm not sure what all the different augments are. This is something we're going to have to look at. But I imagine some of these augment roles to like talents per piece, right? In a way, they're going to be quite passive and they're going to be very OP. And I imagine that goal here is to kind of build prototype builds to then make the escalations easier at the more higher levels. So they're giving us a higher challenge and they're giving us something to take that higher challenge on with. So this is going to be the new farm. This will drop from escalation only. However, you can upgrade your current pieces. You see a Lexington there as well. It's a prototype Lexington. Let me see if I can just skip to see. There you go. So on the prototype Lexington, you're going to have 22.5% assault rifle damage, 31.5 health, 15% damage to target out of cover. That has an augment on it called Amalgam. 0.5% chance of bullets to apply a random status effect. I assume that goes up to 10% as well. So imagine having that across your build or something. And again, still expertised at level 30 there, 30% damage on that. But if we keep on going, you can level up your current gear. They go on showing you how it all works, how you can level it up and things like that. We'll be covering all of this as we go. As we get into the new season, we'll be giving like full-on prototype guides and things like that. But they did say you can level up current gear to prototypes, so you don't just have to rely on the random drops of it. It is going to be rare that it drops, and the higher you go in escalation, the more drops that you're going to get. But you can upgrade your current gear. So here's some striker gloves. Now, to upgrade those normal striker gloves to prototype, what you're going to have to do is max expertise it and max optimize it. There'll be a new currency as well that you use for all of this. This will be the currency you're using when you're like re-rolling augments and things like that as well. But as long as you've got a max expertise striker mask there, and it's got to be max roll. I'm struggling to get the frame where it shows the rolls, but it's max expertise. It's got max rolls on it. You're going to have the option to upgrade it to prototype. It'll then upgrade to prototype, give you a random augment, and keep the rolls that you've currently got on it. So in a way, it does give you a way to get the prototype gear, give you the prototype gear that you want with the right rolls that you want on, and then upgrade it. However, when you do upgrade it, it's not guaranteed you're going to get max rolls. So here on the PTS, it's going to give us that max 22.5 weapon damage, max crit chance there. When you do upgrade it, I imagine there's a chance that you're going to have different values. It'll definitely be better. Yannick said 100% it's going to be better than what you've currently got. So it's worth doing. However, once you've done it, you can't change those rolls, which means, I don't know, you might get 20% weapon damage. You might get 8% crit chance, which I like. It always gives you room for improvement, right? So you're going to have all the pieces that you want, you're going to have all the rolls that you want, you're going to have everything perfect apart from the attributes, and then there's still going to be that, oh, can I get a prototype gear to roll better, or can I get one to drop that is better, which I think's brilliant. It keeps a continuous grind on the game, and for us players that play this game every single day, it's always going to give me something to grind for. Whereas now, it's quite easy at this stage in the game to get something max rolled and get a build max rolled and be done with it, you know? This is going to give us a constant grind, which I like. And a lot of people are mentioning, yeah, but you got to max expertise it. Level 30 ain't no joke. It costs so much. Yannick did say in the stream of next season, expertise is going to be better. What he meant by that is cheaper. So we'll have to see what those adjustments are. But it sounds like expertise is going to have a little bit of a nerf, I want to say, in terms of how difficult it is. It's gonna be bringing that down a notch, so it's gonna be easier to max expertise your pieces. So we don't know what that is yet. Hopefully we'll get to see maybe in the PTS. I'll check it out, but next season it shouldn't be as hard as it is now to get your pieces to max expertise. Still gonna be a grind though. I wouldn't expect it to be like completely easy. This is like end game, right? They still want it to be a grind. They do have a whole new prototype tab as well. So you got your library, your tinkering, your expertise, and your prototype now. Prototype lab is where you're going to be doing all of your adjustments to your augments and upgrading your augments and stuff. And then there's a great quality of life improvement they've shown here, which is pretty huge. One of the best features that there is. I'm just trying to scan over it now. They're going over all the new gear sets and the new exotics and the new brand set. I'm not covering that in this video because everything so far is just I'm so excited for. What I will do on the PTS is I'll do a video with all these new exotics, all these new the new gear set, the new brand set, and we'll have a look at it. I'll actually try and get some gameplay and play with it for you. It's not something I've tried so far. I've kind of missed the screen where he did it though. What I want to end on is the quality of life improvement in your inventory. I can't find a frame, but you're now going to be able to filter your inventory. There's going to be a button where you can filter just to show us everything you've got of a specific piece. So let's say I want to have a look at all the striker chest pieces that I've got. I'll be able to filter that and it'll show me all of my striker chest pieces. From there, it'll show me what's in my inventory, what's in my stash. I'm able to manage them from there. I'm able to move them to my stash from there. I'm able to move them out of my stash into my inventory from there. I'm able to do what I want. So that's going to make inventory management so much better, just to see all of the items of the same type that I've got, so I can then decide what to delete, what to work on, whether I want it in my stash, whether I want it on me. That's going to also be a new feature coming in a new season, which is a huge quality of life update. I guess because we are at the end, we can try and get the frames. Here's the new exotic. Is that the assault rifle there? That's the agitator. You can see the new talent on there. While this weapon is holstered, generate 50% less threat. When shooting, keeping this weapon holstered for 10 seconds will prime it. While prime, swapping to this weapon grants 25% rate of fire, 30% weapon damage. You generate 100% more threat when shooting for 15 seconds. Swapping from this weapon before the timer ends removes the bonuses. You've got a new sidearm whiplash, faster than reloading. Having this weapon holstered for 5 seconds reloads and primes it, while prime swapping to this weapon reloads your primary and secondary weapons and grants 20% rate of fire and 50% weapon damage until its magazine is emptied. Reloading or swapping from this weapon before its magazine is emptied will remove its stat bonuses. And there's a new exotic mask as well. If I can get the frame, there we go. The Investor. Weapon damage, status effects, armor regen, explosive resistance. And I'm not sure I might just have to... Oh, there we go. Talent is slotted. Receives bonuses for each non-core attribute on this item depending on the color. So red will give you 10% critical hit damage. Yellow skill efficiency. Blue armor regen. This item can feature any core attribute. This item features a third random attribute instead of having a gear mod slot. This item cannot feature the headshot damage, health, or skill repair attributes. So it sounds very different for an exotic. And in terms of, I think, the gear, the new gear set, we got core strength. This is interesting. This one interests me a lot, to be honest with you. So core strength 2-piece comes with 10% weapon handling. 3-piece comes with weapon damage, total armor, and skill efficiency at 5%. And then your 4th piece is core exercise. For each core on your gear piece, you receive, or gear pieces, you receive 40% of the other 2 cores bonuses. Skill tiers will count as 15% skill efficiency when these bonuses are applied. All pieces from this gear set, apart from the backpack, will feature random cores. Might say a bit more down there though. But yeah, for each core on your gear pieces, you're going to get 40% of the other 2 cores. This sounds like so much diversity in how you can build this. I don't know what the chest and the backpack talents were, and I'm not going to try and find them. There's a new backpack named Backpack the Bulldog with perfect composure. There's a new... Is there a new named chess piece as well? Yeah, the new named chess piece, Robin, with the brand set there. Royal Works, it comes with perfect gunslinger. The actual brand set itself, if I could just get it on screen, is weapon handler. No, sorry. Ignore me. That's the attributes. It's weapon handling, magazine size, and crit damage as a 3-piece. And that's pretty much it. We're going to go over them more in depth as we go into the PTS and we actually get to play with all of this, and we can make some better content about the new gear pieces and everything. But I think you can tell I'm very excited about this. So they spoke about, when I went to Sweden last year, they spoke about this new escalation. I was only told about the escalation. I've had to be quiet about that since then, but it's something I was very excited about. I've always wanted more challenge in the game. I knew nothing about the prototype gear. I only found that out more recently with a lot of other people. We started to keep push, but I've been so excited about this. It's something I think's huge. It's something I think's for like the hardcore player of the game. And like, it's something that I just feel like it extends. There's always going to be something to grind for. Always going to be something to grind for. And I think the grind's so important. I've always said this. I feel like when you remove the grind, the game can become very stale in any game like this. So this feels to me like something that's for the hardcore player that always wants some form of grind. Like, I can't imagine anybody having maxed attribute prototype builds anytime soon. I'd like to think that's something that is going to require a ton of grinding. And I'm excited. So I'm going to be on the PTS from this Friday. If you want to load the PTS, I know a lot of people are going to be asking, how do I get on the PTS? Well, you've got to have it on PC. So if you have the Division 2 on PlayStation or Xbox, you won't be able to play the PTS, unfortunately, but this will all be coming in a couple of weeks in a new season. So you don't have to wait too long, and you can watch your favorite streamers over the weekend and content creators. I'm sure they're going to release loads of videos and streams. So you're going to be able to watch that. Obviously, if you have any comments whatsoever, comment down below in this video comments. And I'm trying to load up Ubisoft Connect here. It's just taking its time. But yeah, if you own the Division 2 on PC and you're on Ubisoft Connect, you just need to go into your Ubisoft Connect library and you're going to be able to download the PTS when it goes on preload. It probably goes on preload Thursday, I'm going to guess. It'll be quite a sizable download if you've not done it before. If you've already downloaded it before on PC, it's just going to be an update, which is lower in size. But yeah, it'll be available for Ubisoft Connect. There we go. I'm pretty sure, sorry, if you own it on PC Steam, you can't do the PTS. I don't think you can on Steam. You've got to have it for Ubisoft Connect, and you can see it there. I've already got it at Tom Clancy's Division PTS. But yeah, be in your library. So just go through your library once it's ready to preload. As long as you own the game through Ubisoft, you'll see the Division 2 PTS in your library. Click on download. You'll all be ready to go when it goes live on Friday. You'll be able to play the PTS for the weekend until they close it off, and not long to go. Couple of weeks and we'll be able to play it. Super excited for this one. I've been hyping this up. I told everybody not to miss a stream again. I hope you're as hyped as I am, because I'm really, really excited. And we're probably going to stream a lot of this over the weekend. A lot of it.